What is your American dream?
To be able to do what I like doing, and I'd like to have a family of my own and a nice cozy home somewhere. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Hopefully, still in Texas, if not in Washington, and working as a staffer somewhere. I think that's where I may be able to do the most good. And sometimes I feel more comfortable not being the guy, but the guy that the guy counts on.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
I'm never on the first shot.
You're never on the first shot, but there you are. How are you?
I'm amazing. I feel great. It feels so good to be back.
So let me ask you a question. What's up?
What's up?
What's up? Tell me.
In my life?
In your life. I haven't seen you in a month. What's
up?
I
know. So you guys will be seeing me on a nationally broadcast commercial by next month.
Really? Tell us more.
John's.
What is it? Papa John's? Pizza?
Yes.
Are you giving a pizza party to the whole squad? Maybe.
No, maybe.
All right, well, congratulations to you, Jonathan.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
That's
it's my
fantastic.
First commercial.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Your first commercial.
Yeah.
That's wonderful news.
Yeah, and how about yourself?
Me?
We haven't seen you in forever.
I have been deep into TikTok for the last month.
Yes.
We hit 50,000 followers today in like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it was, that I really started doing this.
Yeah.
We have a whole new crew.
We do.
We have a whole new crew. We redid the whole show. We rejiggied.
Yeah.
We rejiggied the whole show. We have a whole new crew. So we'll get to know the whole crew as we go along. Yeah. Unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to Vanessa. She has Nesquik. She has moved permanently to Miami. She'll always be part of our family.
Absolutely.
But let's say hello to the squad. I've missed everybody.
Yeah.
Marge Higgs. Saying, hey, at least she's the first in my comments. Terry Faith, squad up. Asila Enots, squad up. How are you, Star Girl? Dip Fab Cake Affairs. Do you remember any of these people, Jonathan?
Yes.
Ron J. Roberts, Mr. Negative. You remember him? Yeah, Doreen Dappa, how are you? Moshe the Bulldozer Baruch.
Whoa.
Watching probably from his commute home. Willie L. Williams, how are you? Kevin Clark. Naked Wire. Usually we see Naked Wire on Hump Day. Surprising to see Naked Wire on Fuzzy Mondays. Dawn Harriet, how are you? Myrtle Ray. Abu Deem Jamo, squad up. Jessica Leamy, Joel Davis.
Yeah.
What's up? Andrea Miller. Dion Reed. Annette Campbell Miller. I see you watching. Joan Ambitious Powell. Remember her?
Yes.
Very ambitious lady.
Yes.
It's Apple Pie. Always makes me hungry. How are you? And Ida Abid with a pre-schmooze question.
Okay.
Is that the pre-schmooze question of the day?
Yeah.
Why not?
Let's do it.
My stepson is approved on December 4th, 2020. He's 16 years old. His dad's a United States citizen. His case is sent to the NVC, is waiting to be called for his visa. Is it possible to send him an invitation to come? If not, how long does it take for him to get a visa? He's in Ethiopia and the situation because of the civil war is really bad right now. Can you help? Well, we can request a humanitarian expedite. Certainly, he's not going to, you can request all the visitor's visas you want, but it's highly unlikely that the U.S. Embassy is going to give him a visitor's visa. The best thing to do is request a humanitarian expedite. He is an immediate relative. He is 16 years old. He is being sponsored by a U.S. citizen parent. That and the fact that he's separated from his family, he's in a dangerous situation, certainly we can try to expedite it that way, but they're not going to give him a visitor's visa. Let's say hello to Janice Small, Nicole Hernandez, Darsh Singh, and who else we got here? Simpson, Dolores, Joan Rose. Let's see what's going on YouTube.
All right.
Yo-yo. Max Santos, Piper Ramsey, Acelia Enots, Earth Angel, Demba Sow. Earth Angel always makes me want to sing that song. You know the song.
I know the song.
But I can't sing.
And I can't either, so.
So damn. All right, we'll continue. Anthony Bello. It's been a while since the show. Yes, it has been a month. As I said, we were retooling.
Yeah.
We were retooling. You'll see some good stuff coming along the pipe as we go along. Right? Leslie Benoit, Squad Up 29, Super C, Anush Chandra, and Cute One. Self-anointed Cute One. I would say it's a she, but it could be a he.
I think it is a she.
It is a she.
I see.
And she is cute. I see her picture now. She is cute. I agree.
Yes.
All right. Alex Schwartz, how are you? And Super Kane 23 and Bad Redine Zen Mori saying hello. Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, it has been 1 month. Do you remember your lines?
Let's see.
Let's see. That means we go over there.
When it comes to me, maybe I can try to practice. Let's see if it does.
We go that way.
This way.
Caravan.
Look.
That
this
way. Ready? And we go that way.
Yeah.
All right. Since the camera's stuck, I'll take your lines.
Yes, go ahead.
I'll take your lines. Okay, squad, remember to share because we're about to start schmoozing with me. And
all right, what we talking about, Brad? What we schmoozing about?
let's start that again. Okay, squad, remember to share because we're about to start schmoozing with me. Talking headlines, including whether immigration parole is going to be included in President Biden's Build Back Better bill, and good news regarding U.S. naturalization. Yo-Yo, can you take it away? Why don't you? Yo-Yo, come over here in my shot.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing to do. Come over here. Well, our camera seems to be frozen. Come on, that's your hand. Let's move it.
Wait. I can do it right here.
Now we're back. Now we're back. Okay.
All right. Yeah. And guys, and more better news, of course. It's Fuzzy Mondays, so that means we're going to be hearing some stories about our animal friends, including a pug who's given new meaning to the phrase, no bones about it.
And of course, you can call us at 1-800-529-5465. The number is scrolling at the bottom. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There he is. He did not take the day off. There he is.
You paying him.
I'm paying him. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with my head on him. I watched one of the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I was on a plane yesterday. I watched Jungle Cruise. I've seen better.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dwayne. But the telephone number to call, 1-800-529-5465. And later, we are going to visit Judson Memorial Church in Washington Square, New York City, for a celebration of Jean Montreville's return to the United States on a 90-day parole after being deported to Haiti in January 2018 for a felony conviction that occurred more than 30 years ago. You may remember he was on our show. He was convicted of a felony. By all means, yes, he did it in the 1980s. And the U.S. government allowed him to live here for 30 plus years, have a wife, 4 children.
Wow.
And then when the pumpkin came along, they came and arrested him and deported him back to Haiti. And we know what was going on in Haiti. It was a real travesty of justice to allow a man to live here and had a clean record for 30 plus years and then deport him with a family of 4 and a home and a job and everything else. He just came back recently.
Wow.
So our cameras were there at the Judson Memorial Church in Washington Square Park in a celebration of his return. And of course now, Easy Ian on the TriCaster. It's time for Schmoozing with Brad.
Yes.
You got it. All right, come along. All right. Well, now you got, there we go. All right, so in my hands, Jonathan, are the top 75 stories of the month, which we have not talked about.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we had a very late start today, so we're going to have to pare this down. We'll talk a lot of more stuff tomorrow, but we do want to talk. There's a lot of important things that we do need to get through. Number one, immigration, Yo-Yo. The House of Representatives finally passed the Build Back Better bill, with one Democrat joining all Republicans in opposing the measure. They needed They couldn't lose more than 4 Democrats. They only lost 1, so it passed by 3 votes.
Nice.
The legislation includes a monthly cash payment of up to $300 for most parents, universal pre-K, child care funding, an extension of Obamacare, which is the Affordable Care Act subsidies, Medicare hearing benefits, and $555 billion towards combating climate change. But what's important for our squad is Plan C, passed in the House of Representatives. Plan C is parole status for anybody who was here prior to January, on or before January 1st, 2011.
Right.
Now, what does that mean compared to an amnesty, which is what they were talking about in Plan A and Plan B? Well, an amnesty means that you get a green card because you satisfy certain requirements. This is not an amnesty. This is a parole status. Parole status means that the United States is allowing you to live here without threat of deportation and gives you a work permit, and that work permit will be valid for 5 years and can be renewed for another 5 years, for a total of 10 years. And it also gives you an advance parole, a travel permission to leave the United States and to return. So it gives you, for anybody who has physically been here from January 1st, 2011, all the way to the present time, it gives you all the benefits of having a green card without actually getting the green card. Because what does a green card give you? It gives you work and travel.
Right.
Okay? But it also doesn't give you the green card, so ultimately you can't turn it into citizenship.
Okay.
And number 2, this program ends at the end of 10 years. They did not make it permanent because they needed to pass the parliamentarian in the Senate. And the hope is that once you give a benefit in the United States and that benefit becomes ingrained, people don't give up that benefit. It's very hard to take that benefit away. So they're leaving it for future Congresses to either give green cards to people who are in the parole status or extend it in greater detail. Now, a lot of people who become eligible for this parole status will ultimately be able to get a green card because either they entered the country without inspection or they came on some sort of fraudulent document. But when they get that advance parole and they leave and then re-enter the United States in parole status, that would give them the ability to adjust their status on a future filing by a family member or even perhaps even in a job. So people who ultimately do get sponsored by family members or in jobs who are otherwise not eligible to adjust would then be able to do so by the fact that they travel home and then return to the United States. Also, what they're doing is there was about 300,000 plus green cards that have gone unused in the last decade or two. Those are green cards that were authorized to be issued, but for whatever reason, the government did not issue the full allotment for any particular year. Those green cards went unused. They are going to take all those unused green cards, and they are now going to allow the government to issue them years after the fact.
Oh, wow.
What does that do? That makes all these visa waiting lists, the visa waiting lists that are 10, 12 years, you know, like people call me, I filed for my brother, how long is it going to take? 12, 13 years. It'll be faster now because you're going to have unused visas go back into that category. Right. I filed for my adult son or daughter. Why is it taking 7 years? Well, now it's going to take a lot less because they're using these unused green cards.
Nice.
This is not law yet. It's not law yet because it has to pass the Senate. And whether or not it ultimately ends up in the Build Back Better plan comes down to you know who. Our friend the parliamentarian.
Oh, yes.
The parliamentarian has to say that this is a revenue generating policy. This is not a change in immigration law.
Right.
So this parole status that Congress is giving to immigrants, this parole status exists. Congress is authorized to give parole status. It's an existing program and can authorize what groups of people would be able to get this parole status. So it's not a new law. It's not a permanent law because they're only making it for 10 years, and they're going to obviously charge people money to be involved in this law, to get into this program, which would be the revenue generator. So hopefully it does pass the parliamentarian. Chuck Schumer, who is in charge of getting this legislation to the finish line in the Senate, he is the Senate Majority Leader. He says there will be a vote, yes or no, before Christmas.
Okay.
So we will.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. So we will know more
Before
at
Christmas.
that point.
All right.
Okay. Meanwhile, as I go through my cards here, this is some good news. Because I always say,
We like
Biden
good
talks a
news.
big game with immigration. I'm disappointed in what he's done so far. But statistics just came out that according to USCIS, 808,000 people were naturalized in the fiscal year, which ended in September 30th, 2021. Now, that only covered Biden's 9 months in office, because remember, the fiscal year goes October to October. So the first 3 months of the fiscal year was pumpkin. Okay? And we still got more people naturalized this year than in any year in the past decade.
Wow. Okay.
So Biden did do something. He did speed up the naturalization process. And I even noticed that in my own practice, because I was saying to people, when you file for naturalization, it's really taking like 6 months these days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's good news. It's good news that, Biden did something there.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure everyone has, whoops,
We
there go my cards.
we got to give him credit.
Yeah, got to give him credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody has opinions on Kyle Rittenhouse. All right. By now, everybody knows what happened. There was unrest in Kenosha, Wisconsin, after the police shooting of Jacob Blake, who was a 29-year-old black man. He was paralyzed from the waist down. This was at the height of the Black Lives Matter protests over the summer during the pandemic. Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old teen, decides to drive from Illinois to Wisconsin to protect a car dealership, or was told to go protect a car dealership, because apparently some of the protesters were destroying some of the cars in this lot of, this is at least his side of the story, that some of the protesters were destroying. I know you have a lot to say on this, Jonathan. I see you smiling already. Were destroying some of the cars, or potentially destroying some of the cars. So he had to protect himself and the automobiles. So this 17-year-old kid decides the only way to protect himself and these automobiles is to take a semi-automatic gun to go and protect this dealership. And then apparently some of the protesters, he ended up killing 2, wounding a 3rd, because he said his life was in danger because he believed that some of the protesters would have overpowered him, taken his gun, and shot him. That was his defense, which is totally illogical.
Right.
There's no logic to any of that defense. Although I give it to his attorneys, and I was telling you this off air. I said he had really, if I want you to know, if I'm arrested in Wisconsin, I'm calling his attorneys. He had really, really good attorneys.
You got to practice your cry face, though.
Yes.
You got to have a very.
Well, I'm a good actor.
You're a good actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But it doesn't make any logical sense, because you say, all right, I gotta take a gun because I gotta protect this property.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, there's lots of issues here. Okay. Obviously, the biggest issue is that 2 people are dead and 1 person's wounded.
Murdered.
Right. Okay. All right. Number 2, there's racial issues.
Yes.
Okay. How is Kyle Rittenhouse treated differently than if a black man was arrested? Okay. How would Kyle Rittenhouse have even made it off the street if it was the other way around? The black man. A black man
have definitely been
shooting.
shot.
Right. I mean, with his hands up, would the police have just walked over and put handcuffs on him?
No.
Okay, because that's what
More
happened.
than likely, no.
Right, that's what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse.
Right.
Okay, and then there's issues of gun violence and gun control. There's all these issues. Okay, and it mimics what's going on in America now. All of those issues all in one case. Gun control, racial tensions, murder of people, the whole Black Lives Matter movement. I mean, it's all, everything that went on in America is in this one case, which is why it was so riveting to so many people. From a gun perspective, to me, I'll go from easy to harder. Okay. From the easiest perspective, which is gun perspective.
Yes.
Okay. There is no question that this is an advertisement for guns off the street. Because if you say, okay, I need to protect myself, so I need a gun. And what is this defense? Well, they were going to steal the gun from me and shoot me. So therefore, I had to shoot them first. Well, then why even bring a gun? If you're scared that the gun's going to be taken from you and you're going to be shot, there's no logic to having a gun to protect yourself in the first place. Okay? And then there's issues of, well, if this was a black man and not a white man, would the bias have been the other way around? Meaning that Rittenhouse got the benefit of the doubt. Because in Wisconsin law, it's not what a reasonable person would do in that circumstance.
Right.
It's then maybe the law should be different, and probably should be. But in Wisconsin, the way the law is written is, did this person, Kyle Rittenhouse, believe his life was in danger? Whether or not it was or wasn't, whether or not you put yourself in his shoes and say, come on, that's crazy. All right, his life was not in danger. He has a semi-automatic gun, and these people have rocks or whatever they're throwing at him. Okay, so, but it's not about what a reasonable person, or what, if you were on the jury, what you would do, Jonathan.
Right.
It's about what did Kyle Rittenhouse, thank you. Kyle Rittenhouse, what was he thinking? And if he was thinking that his life was in danger, he's justified in shooting. He could be insane. He could be completely insane, but if that's what he believed, then he has a justification. That's the Wisconsin law. Okay. So the question becomes, he got the benefit of the doubt from an all-white jury that he felt his life was in danger. Would they have given the same benefit of the doubt if the shooter was black?
No.
I don't think so either.
There's a whole story going on. There's a young lady named Crystal Kaiser, I believe, and she was 17 years old when she shot a man who was sexually abusing her. She is now still currently awaiting a trial, but she will not get that same luck that
it's not luck. I call it the benefit of the doubt. In other words, a white man who goes on the stand would be to this jury in Wisconsin is whether you like it or not, to those particular individuals more sympathetic than if it was a black kid crying, same situation. Would that black kid, 17-year-old black kid, get the same benefit of the doubt that black kid believed his life was in danger too?
Absolutely not.
That's the problem in the United States of America, in a nutshell.
Yes.
All right. So I said this, and I agree with you, by the way. I'm not in disagreement with you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's illogical that you need
madness.
It's illogical that you need to bring a gun to protect yourself, and then your defense is, well, I thought they were going to steal the gun from me, so I had to shoot them first. So then there's no purpose in having a gun. Okay, and then the other big issue in this case is, would a black kid have gotten the same benefit of the doubt?
No. So Philando Castile told the officer that he had a gun. He still got shot. He said he's purposely said, I have a gun, I have everything I need, and shot him in front of his girlfriend and the kid in the back.
Who shot him?
The police
officer. Right.
Yes.
Right.
While he was parked in the car.
Right, exactly. What about? I mean, you can even go back.
Was no threat.
I mean, by the way, I mean you can go back to George Zimmerman. Okay.
Trayvon Martin.
Right, Trayvon Martin. This is the same exact case.
It's the same exact
The same exact case. Different laws in Florida. Florida has a stand your ground law.
But how is it stand your ground when the police actually told Zimmerman, please do not follow the kid?
And then, by the way, if you want to say history repeats itself, you're too young to remember this, but in the 1980s, there was a subway vigilante by the name of Bernie Goetz in New York City.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about this
do you know about him?
No.
So Bernie Goetz in the 1980s, also exact similar case, when you say history repeats itself time and time again, Bernie Goetz said he shot 4 black youths on a subway here in New York City in the 1980s. That's when I was a child. And he was arrested, and he said, I shot them in self-defense because he thought they were going to rob him. They weren't robbing him. He thought he was going to be robbed. He ultimately was found innocent, except he went to jail for 8 months for illegally carrying a gun. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse was also charged with illegal gun, but because he had a specific semi-automatic, apparently that gun's legal in Wisconsin. So those charges were dropped too.
It's insane.
Madness. Insane. So, meanwhile, what's even more insane is the people who try to take advantage of all of this. The Republicans are falling all over themselves to make Kyle Rittenhouse a hero. Florida Representative Matt Gaetz said he was hoping for a not guilty verdict because Rittenhouse would probably make a pretty good congressional intern. Oh. Would you believe this guy invites Rittenhouse to be a congressional intern? Now, Rittenhouse's defense attorney, Mark Richards, I give him credit. He did what he had to do as an attorney, which was represent his client zealously. Okay? But he also has now accused all the Republicans and the conservative parties and groups that are trying to make Rittenhouse into a hero. He came out and he said that Republicans are trading on Rittenhouse's celebrity. They're raising money on him, and you have all these Republican congressmen saying, come work for me, and they want to trade on his celebrity, and I think that's disgusting.
Yeah.
So kudos to him. What else? Oh, I have Bernie Goetz here. It was 1984, Yo-Yo. He wounded 4 young men, Barry Allen, Troy Canty, Dal Caby, James Ramhauser. That's what I remember as a kid.
Wow. All
right, he surrendered to police 9 days later. He was viewed by most as a victim at the time and some as a vigilante. He received a lot of public support. A grand jury refused to indict Goetz. He was dubbed the subway vigilante. And he was ultimately found guilty of just carrying a gun, even though those 4 black kids got shot.
That's wild. It's wild.
Meanwhile, our friends at the Johns Hopkins University, 47.7 million confirmed coronavirus cases in the United States. I'm sorry, in the world, not in the United States. 771,000 deaths. Oh, no, that's in the United States. I'm sorry. I beg to differ. 47.7 million confirmed coronavirus cases in the U.S., coming in on close to 800,000 deaths from coronavirus.
That's a lot.
Yes, that is a lot. And we got to get to some Fuzzy Monday.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. We have Fuzzy Monday?
Please.
Perhaps some fuzziness?
This is too much for me.
Too much?
For the first day.
Do we have some Fuzzy Monday?
I think we do.
There we go. Oh, there's our friend Vanessa still there. She's still part of our family. All right. Did you hear about Noodles the pug? He gets bones or no bones, and whether he takes a bone or not a bone, his routine decides the kind of day millions of people are going to have.
What?
One small pug is influencing how millions of people are living their lives. Let's meet Noodle The 13-year-old rescue dog, whose owner, Jonathan Graziano, records and posts waking his pup up every morning on TikTok. Do we have a picture of him? Maybe we do.
We just saw Noodle.
We just saw him. Okay, Graziana, a social media manager here in New York City, sits Noodle upright to see if the dog can stand on his own. If Noodle can stand, it's a Bones Day, and if he flops back over, it's no Bones Day. Let's watch. There's the picture of Noodles.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to yet another round of Bones or No Bones, the game where we find out if my 13-year-old pug woke up with bones. And as a result, we'll find out what kind of day we're going to have. Now, happy Friday, everyone. This is so exciting, but I will say it is cold and dark and rainy in New York City today, and Noodle does not do the rain.
Noodle. So if Noodle
Okay.
falls
It also
down,
turns
everyone's having
out
a
he does
bad day.
not do bones. So it's a no bones day, and you know what that means? It means you have to be kind to yourself. Burn that incense you bought last weekend at the Fair Trade Farmers Market. Commit to a broth-based meal at some point today, whether it's breakfast ramen, which I could not recommend.
That's really funny.
That's too
the
funny.
dog falls over.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a bad day.
it's a bad
4 million people
Get
watch this
your
and
sage
decide,
out.
and they decide whether or not they're gonna have a good day or not.
I'm not basing my day on Noodles. No. Listen, not looking like that.
Meanwhile, a tortoise named Tiptoe is taking TikTok by storm. Also, we're big into TikTok these days. The exotic pet is slow moving, but his account, Caitlin and Tiptoe, has quickly grown to 3.9 million followers.
Sheesh.
Now, his Los Angeles caretaker, Caitlin Duran, told the New York Post he's a very sassy, untrained, 175-pound lump. He just has a mind of his own and has own ideas of how he wants his videos to go. Do we have a video of Tiptoe taking TikTok by storm? What does Tiptoe do? Let's see. Maybe. Well, all right, we just have pictures. There he is. Okay. Well, in March 2020, the tortoise owner had taken time off from her job working in behavior analytics services for children with autism, not realizing a global lockdown would derail her career. My friends really hyped me up to do this. Lucky for her, Tiptoe was an overnight success. In August, Duran treated her star performer to a spa day, complete with cucumber slices over his eyes, and she made it rain hibiscus while the reptile soaked in a tiny pool. The account grew so fast, Duran says, it was unexpected, but very cool to see. I'm not sure, what does Tiptoe actually do? It's just a lump of a
tortoise.
Of a tortoise? All right, people love it. All right, we got one more to go, Jonathan. I got 3 stories. Do you like story number 1, 2, or 3?
1.
Number 1.
Let's do it.
All right, so we have a cute duck who ran the New York City Marathon, even with sneakers.
Oh.
Do you believe that? There it is, the duck running the marathon.
That's hilarious.
His name is Wrinkle the Duck. He's a traveling duck named after a wrinkle in time. He joined the 30,000 participants in this year's 50th annual New York City Marathon.
I saw it.
He even donned what appeared to be sneakers. The now celebrity duck has an official Instagram account that has been chronicling the animal's antics for quite some time. Wrinkle has been spotted having a drink in Dumbo, driving around New York City, riding the subway, just hanging out in Brooklyn. But it is the duck's appearance at the New York City Marathon that has drawn most attention. New Yorkers, brands, and animal lovers took to social media to express their fascination with Wrinkle. On TikTok, Adidas even wrote, sending this to our design team to petition for a new duck shoe collection.
What? A duck shoe collection.
What we have learned, Jonathan, is people love ducks, tortoises pugs that fall down.
Yes, yeah. So maybe we should get one of those just to sit here.
We need an animal right here for Fuzzy Monday.
Yeah.
Every day we should get an animal out of a cage right here. Let him walk around. What do you think? Would you be the animal caretaker?
If it's a dog, yeah. I can't do birds.
What about if it's a bird?
Look, you want me to curse? Look, I almost did. Look.
All right, so that's our schmooze for the day. Call the number scrolling at the bottom. We do have open lines right now to answer your immigration questions. 1-800-529-5465. We're going to be getting to your immigration questions in about 1 minute and 23 seconds, Jonathan. But in this edition of TikTok Time, I answer the question, I answer questions ranging from AR-11 change of address filing to how to help someone's undocumented father. Let's watch. You have to file an AR-11 every time you move or change addresses until you become a United States citizen. I'm sorry to hear about the abuse in your relationship, but yes, you still have to file an AR-11 despite that. Good luck. If you're a United States citizen and want to file for your mother or father in another country, start by filing an I-130 visa petition. Upon approval, the case would be transferred to the National Visa Center. You do affidavits of support, biographic data on your parents, and they get a visa appointment. Don't worry about whose name what is in. The wife has to start filing for the husband, and then he'll start worrying less. She'll start worrying less. They're worried because they haven't left the starting gate. They need to file something. You file an adjustment application if he's eligible. Get him a work permit, a social, travel document, and start changing over the names of the assets into joint names. Or in the alternative, if he entered without inspection or on a crewman's visa, file an I-130 visa petition, a provisional waiver if he's undocumented and out of status and has a bar to re-entry, and then let him go home and come back with his green card. But the process has to start. That's the number one thing. And then, as the process starts, and as the husband gets status and gets his green card, there'll be less worry. Good luck. All right, you ready to get to our meat and potatoes?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, you got an immigration question? I've got an answer. There we go. All right, Kim in Providence, Rhode Island. Kim.
Yes, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm new to this. I don't know nothing about the immigration thing. I filed for my husband, and in honesty, I don't know nothing. We filed in 2019
you
of
filed
December.
for your husband and you know nothing?
Yeah, I'm being, like, I just wanted to be with him. We went to someone to help us.
Where is your husband now?
He's right here. He's right here.
He's right next to you. Where are you? You're in Rhode Island. When you
Yes.
filed for him, you filed an adjustment application for him.
Yes, correct.
And you went for an interview.
We did the interview for the I-30, I believe it is.
I-130. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you file?
And
Did he
then-
get a work permit? Did you file an adjustment for him as well?
Yes, correct.
How much?
So
What was the filing fee that you paid?
What was the filing fee again? Probably like 6 something.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
So
did
what
not.
happened
Okay,
is-
so not only do you not know what you're doing, you don't even know how to answer the questions right. Because I asked if you filed the adjustment. I'm just being frank with you. If you filed,
Okay.
if you filed an adjustment, you would have paid $1,760.
Okay, then that's what it was.
So that's where
Okay.
you're screwing up. And the reason
Okay.
why you went on an interview and got nothing for him is when you do an immigration application, there's actually.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I'm just calling about an RFE. We get the 2-year. We got everything.
Oh, you
It
got
just
a 2-year.
RFE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We got
Okay,
that
so
already.
now, all right, so you got the 2-year, and now you
Uh-huh.
filed to remove the conditions of his permanent
Correct.
residence.
Correct.
My
There you go.
apologies, you know what you're doing. I can't hear well then. Okay.
Okay, no
All right, so
problem.
now you filed to remove the conditions of your permanent residence.
Correct.
And you
Correct.
went on this interview, and you got to show you and your husband are
No,
living
we didn't
together.
we didn't go on the interview yet. What happened was the pandemic came.
Okay.
And we didn't hear anything from them.
Got
And
it. And
was,
now you got an RFE, a request for more
Correct.
evidence. Okay, and
Correct.
they're asking for proof that you and your husband are living together in a bona fide marriage.
correct.
Okay.
And the only 2 problems that we have. All right, I live in public housing. I didn't know that the 2-year meant that he was a permanent resident. I thought that it was just temporary to just see if our marriage was real or if it would last. And then, so I didn't bother to put him on there. And then the person that helped us, she never told us to commingle. Although we do commingle, we have a joint account, but that's only like when we file our taxes and we take our money, we buy certain
Okay,
things.
all right, so this is the bottom line. Okay.
Okay.
There is no one document in the world that if you're missing it, all of a sudden now you can't prove it's a bona fide marriage. All right. Obviously you and your husband are living together. Okay.
Yes.
Because I hear him right next to you and you seem very concerned. All right.
Right.
So you're going to respond to this RFE with all the documents that you possibly can put together to respond to this. And when you respond to these RFEs, like let's say, for example, you do have a bank account. Don't give them 1 month of your bank accounts. Give them the last statements for the last 3 years of your bank accounts. Okay. If you have a credit card, give your credit card. Now, a lot of times you don't have the financial documentation, but if you and your husband live together, your husband gets mail addressed to him at this residence. You get mail addressed to this residence.
He gets junk mail.
Show all your junk mail. It's better than nothing. Okay. And now you know better. Now you know you have to commingle your assets. How immigration determines whether or not you're in a real bona fide marriage is 2 things. 1, do you live together? 2, do you have a financial relationship? So here's one problem. All right, so where I live, the utilities is included, but the thing is, we have car insurance. We have, and I can't. As I just said, there's no one document that if you have it, you win, and there's no one document if you don't have it, you lose. Okay, it's a totality of circumstances. Okay, submit everything you have. Okay. Give them the kitchen sink, everything. Okay? And then, if you have to back up a truck, you back up a truck. And can I ask you one more thing, too? No, I'm not. Let me finish my sentence, and then you can ask all you want. Okay? You back up a truck with all your documents to immigration. Okay? I mean, I'm being facetious, but I mean, if you have to send it in a box, you send it in a box. And because more the better. And then what will happen is they're going to call you for an interview. Okay. And at that interview, you and your husband will prove it's a bona fide marriage through your own testimony. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now, what is your question? No, I was just going to ask something, but you just pretty much summed up, huh? I did already. I asked him about it. Yeah. So I was just going to ask a question, but you said just submit everything. Me and him did a background check, and it has the same date. I wanted to put that in there, too, to show that we was together. Okay. Because we are looking to buy a house. Great. That's why, we're trying to get out of here. So get out. Get the house. Right. Fine. Okay. Right. Even if you apply for, you can apply for a what is it? A pre-approval of a mortgage. Submit that you applied for a pre-approval of a mortgage with you and him together. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Good luck. All right. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. Let's go to Sarah in Stratford, Connecticut.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. So, I recently, this past July, after 2.5 years, with the help of, this is coming out of Jamaica, my nephew, my brother is dead, his mother is dead. So I just got not only legal guardianship, but full custody. I just picked up the papers. Immigration in the U.S. Embassy, I guess they said they're not doing any new visa, but they're doing renewal. I've been a citizen here for a long time.
How old is he?
I've been here, 30 years.
How old is he?
He's 16. And July 26th, I just was granted. I started the process, as I said, almost 3 years. I was granted.
You've been given the worst advice in the history of the world.
Well,
you have been given the worst. You have been given the worst advice in the history of the world, because you had to file an orphan petition for this child before he turned 16 years old. That's what you needed to do before you got legal guardianship of him. Before you did anything in Jamaica, you needed to file an orphan petition for him.
Oh well, I wasn't aware at all. Right.
Well, you should have been. You should have made yourself aware. Okay. Well, so I'm being frank with you in this sense.
That's fine.
Okay.
But
you should have made yourself aware. You do it. It's just like doing stuff without being aware of the law. Now this kid's screwed.
Well, aware of the law, I had to go to wherever they sent me in Jamaica. That's where
they sent you wrong. You got to do your own research. You can't just rely on people. You have to file. If you have an orphan in Jamaica, you got to file an orphan petition before the child's 16. Does he have a younger brother, a younger sibling?
No, he's the sole child for either parent that passed. but he lives with the maternal aunt. No one took custody when the mother passed. My brother passed years before, and then he passed.
You cannot do anything for this child now.
Even though I have,
even though you have
full
guardianship,
custody?
yes, because you did everything wrong. That's why I'm angry at you. I'm actually angry at you when I hear this stuff. Because you wasted 3 years of your life doing everything wrong.
Well, based on what the government,
The government told you wrong. They told you wrong. You can blame everyone in the world. I'm being frank with you. You can blame everyone in the world, but the only one you got to blame is you, because you just followed everybody incorrectly. You didn't do your own research. You can Google this. How do I bring an orphan from another country? If you Google it, there's 10 million articles. You have to file an orphan petition before the child turns 16, or you've lost his rights to enter the United States as an orphan. Whether you were getting legal custody, you have legal custody of him. And I don't want to be tough on you, but I mean, it's so frustrating to listen to.
Well, I went to social services there, and this is the process that they.
What do they know about U.S. immigration in Jamaica?
Well,
social service woman or man in Jamaica is not an immigration lawyer.
This is a government agency.
The Jamaican government agency doesn't understand immigration law. I can tell you that.
Right.
You would need to have I don't know how we're going to get this kid here at this point, but you bringing him here as a custodian, as a parent, that's a no-go. You know, maybe we can get him a student visa, perhaps.
Well, that's
okay. So you need help. Hold on. You really need help. I don't have an answer for you. You screwed up. Poor kid. All right, let's go to Josu in Revere, Massachusetts.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Very good, thank you. So I have a question regarding my BAWA was approved, and now in order to adjust my status, what should I do? Because I'm in deportation proceedings. I don't know if I should go with USCIS or with the immigration judge.
The adjustment application you haven't been ordered deported yet, right?
No.
Okay. All right. So the adjustment application lies with the immigration judge. But what you can do is file an adjustment application just so you can get your work permission if you don't have it yet. And when you go to the judge, bring in a receipt that you filed the adjustment, and then you're going to transfer the adjustment application to the judge, and the judge will ultimately put your cases down for an individual hearing to adjust your status before the judge.
Do you think that's going to take a real long time?
Yes, because they're really backed up. But hopefully by the end of another 18, 24 months, you have a green card.
All right. Thank you.
But I'll tell you the good news.
Mm-hmm.
With an approved I-360, unless you have a criminal record, the judge can't deport you.
Okay, sounds perfect because I don't have anything in my back.
Right, so then you have nothing to worry that you would ever get deported.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Danielle in Moorfield, West Virginia.
Hi, Brad.
Hi,
Thanks
how are
for
you?
taking my call.
My pleasure.
I'm good. I want to ask a question. I did my interview, and I saw an update on my status that my card was mailed to me. So because I use a mailbox, I don't have a mailbox at my house. I use a local post office. I want to know about how long do you think it's going to take for me to get the actual card?
The work permit?
No,
or
my green card.
Okay, so tell me again, you adjusted or you entered into the U.S.?
I entered through marriage. I got married. I came here and I got married.
When did you enter the U.S.?
On March 2019.
And you still never got a green card to this day?
No, I recently got married in November. I did my interview on November 8th.
Oh, all right. I'm mistaken. Okay, so you did do an adjustment of status then?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what happened at the interview?
It was approved. They approved it Wednesday.
You got an approval letter in the mail on Wednesday of your adjustment.
I don't get the letter yet. I only saw it on my.
Okay, so figure 8 to 12 weeks, you'll have the green card in the mail to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
All right, let's go to Mark in Queens. Mark.
Hi. Good evening. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
So I just want to find out. So I just got approved for the VAWA,
Right.
and I did apply for the change of status before H5. I think
The
it is.
adjustment of status, yes.
Yes. Last year, it already said fingerprints was taken. So I'm trying to see how long.
About 12 months from the approval, you'll get your green card, or at least your interview.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck. All right, let's go to Darami in Bowie, Maryland.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I've got an approved VAWA. It was approved. I filed it the same time I filed I-485. A year later, USCIS did not send an interview notice, so the case was denied. Then I filed
Why was
a
your
motion
case denied?
because it was said that I did not attend the interview.
Okay,
and
so
I
you
did not
didn't get the notice. Okay, got it.
Yes. So I filed a motion to reopen it. So
Right.
6 months after I filed it, I got a little impatient. So I made another I-485 application. A week later, the old case was reopened. I had a call that it was reopened. That means I had two I-485 pending with USCIS. So they were there. So a year later, now, the new case that I filed said it got denied, and the old one said case was closed, benefit received by other means. So that's
So you screwed up.
confusing to
All
me.
right, so let me explain what the law is. If you don't have the option, because you're frustrated, of making a motion to reopen and filing a new adjustment application. It's not the law. You can, if you have a pending motion to reopen, you are ineligible to file a new adjustment, which is why your new adjustment was denied. Your motion to reopen, if it was granted, should have scheduled you for a new interview. Why they said case closed, you got the benefit, either that means you got approved for your green card or there's some error. I don't know, but something's screwy. So you need to get to the bottom of this. You can do it by one of two ways. You can go make a InfoPass appointment and go to your local office. Most likely, what I would suggest is to do what's called the Freedom of Information Act request. Get a copy of your immigration records and see what happened. But where you screwed up was by making a motion to reopen and doing the adjustment. That screwed up your whole case. Got to choose one or the other. Hold on. Let's go to Christina in Newark. Christina.
Hey, so my I-485 has been pending for 2 years now. I did put in the application 2019, and I've not been scheduled for an interview yet.
Okay, and this is based on, what was the I-45 based on?
Family-based green card.
You got married to a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Okay, did you get your work permit?
Yes, I got a work permit already.
Okay, I don't know why you haven't been scheduled. If this is in New Jersey, you probably should have. What country are you from?
Ghana.
Maybe because I don't know, maybe because you're from an African country, sometimes those get delayed. I don't know the answer why you haven't got an interview yet, but sounds like if your case has been pending for close to 3 years, you want to consider, without getting an interview, you may want to consider threatening to do a mandamus, which is to force the government to give you an interview. Because you're an immediate relative. If you're married to a United States citizen, you're immediately eligible for your green card. It's not immediate if you're waiting 3 years. Why are you waiting 3 years? I don't have the slightest idea. But I would say that's, wrong, because it's certainly not immediate benefit. So I would at this point be thinking about a mandamus.
Okay.
All right, hold on. We can help. Colleen in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Hey, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks for taking my call. I'm doing fine.
My pleasure.
Now, I came to the U.S. on a J1 visa, and I got married to a green card holder in 2019.
Right.
I filed My husband filed the I-130 and it got approved.
Right.
Now I was waiting on my waiver from my J1 visa because I have the no objection. I have the return the home country residence thing.
Yep.
I got my no objection statement. Send it to BOS. It took a while. It took about 4 months for me to get that favorable recommendation. So
you have
I
it now?
sent off the. I got the status said favorable.
Do you have a waiver right now?
Yes, but
do you
Brad,
have a waiver?
Yes, I know.
So what is your question? What is your question?
I already sent off my I-485, my adjustment of status. So I was wondering if I made a wrong move to send it without the waiver.
I just asked you if you had a waiver, and you said yes.
No, I just got it last week, and I sent the I-485 before I actually got it in hand.
Oh, okay. No, you'll be okay as long as you bring the waiver to the interview.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yes.
And another thing, will I be getting a work permit soon?
Yes, you should be. Yes, you should be.
All right, then.
All right,
Thank
so
you, Brad.
everything's going well?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's go to Jeff in Orange County, New Jersey.
Hey, hello. How are you doing?
How are you?
Good. So I have a quick question. I'm in removal, and I did my interview already. I got the I-130 approved. My work authorization has been pending for 227 days, and they sent me a notice saying that the I-485 is administratively closed. I consulted with my attorney, and they told me that since it's administratively closed, and I don't have court until 2024, I won't get a work permit.
That's
Is that
correct.
true?
That is true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's just the work permit basically is just going to just keep pending until it denies, pretty much, right?
Yes, because your case is administratively closed. So the only thing you can do is try to re-calendar your removal case to an earlier date.
Okay.
All right.
That's all. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Let's go to Sharika in Kingston.
Hi, Brad. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, good evening. Thank you so much for taking the call.
My pleasure.
All right. Yeah. So I was living in the States when I was younger. Left when I was 15. My dad told him to take me back here. He was still living in Jamaica, going to and fro. So I came back when I was 15.
You had a green card? What did you have?
Yes, I had a green.
Okay.
Yes,
Who were
I had
you
a green
living with?
card.
Your mom or your dad?
Well, my grandmom at the time and my aunt, and then when the finances was not going that way, then they shipped me to my sister in Philadelphia, and I was kept going back and forth.
How did you get your green card? Through your father or mother?
Through my father, yeah.
But he
through
never became a citizen?
No.
And
that was
how old are you now?
19 years ago, Brad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're back to square one.
Yeah, basically. So I want to know, like, what are my options now?
Like anybody else on the entire islands of Jamaica and like anybody else in the entire world. You could get sponsored by family or in a job.
Yeah. Okay.
But you don't get,
okay.
But there's no added option because you had a green card 20 years ago.
Okay.
Back to square one.
So it's back to square one. So there's no point of, because I was told about this returning resident visa, but I think because I was
that was 19 years ago. You're not going to get it.
Yeah. So even though I was underage, it still would not apply.
Well, yeah. Well, it wouldn't apply because when you turned an adult 16 years ago, that's when you should have said, hey, I'm an adult. I'd like to come back.
Yeah. Yeah. I had my kid.
Right.
Yeah. I understand.
All
okay.
right.
So I would have to start all over again.
Correct.
What
you may want to try to do, and I don't know whether you'll get it or not, is you can try to go to the U.S. Embassy and apply for a tourist visa, and you can tell the embassy, hey, I had a green card. I had the option to come back the last 20 years with a green card. I chose not to. I just want to go visit.
Okay.
All right. I would try that route.
All right. No problem. Thank you so much, Brad.
Good luck. All right, let's go to Christopher in the Bronx.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Not bad.
What's going on?
Yes. So I have two questions, Mr. Brad. I did my biometrics on August the 3rd, right?
Right.
And it's going near 4 months now. I don't get a work permit. So when you think I will get that?
I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but hopefully very soon.
Okay.
I don't know the answer when you're going to get it. It's usually about 90 days from the time you took your biometrics. It's 4 months now, so it should be any day.
Okay.
Unless you have a problem with your case, which I wouldn't know.
No. I send in everything.
Mm-hmm.
I send in everything. I never send in my my medical, but they send me a paper.
That's fine. That shouldn't prevent you from getting the work permit.
That's what I'm saying. They send me a paper.
That won't prevent. That's not the issue. I don't know, but it should be any day.
Okay. So on the next thing now, you don't when because it's tomorrow.
If the next question is going to be when are you going to get a green card, I also don't know that answer.
Yes, sir.
I don't know any of those answers.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know. I'm not immigration. I don't schedule interviews, and I didn't do your case, so I don't know. All I can tell you is it's approximately 90 days from the time you take your biometrics to getting your work permit. It's approximately 12 months from the time you file your adjustment in New York to getting an interview. That's the best I can tell you.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Good luck.
All right.
Mohammed in Springfield, Virginia.
Hi, Mr. Brad. How are you? I'm good. My question is, I came in 2016 with my parents, applied for asylum before B2 expired. I'm asylum derivative. I got married last year with a green card holder, and 3 months later applied for I-130, I-485. I had physical abuse, financial abuse, and we decided to separate, and I filed for VAWA. Last month, I got an interview notice for the I-130 and I-485, and I was sick with COVID. I was also in hope that we might get back together because we didn't file for the divorce.
Right.
So I called them. I told them that I'm sick with COVID, and if you need the doctors or anything, I can send the receipt, and they rescheduled it, the interview for I-130, I-485, and they rescheduled it the next month. But she traveled to Pakistan.
You never filed the VAWA case?
VAWA was filed a few months before we were separate.
So you should have went to the interview with proof that you filed the VAWA.
Right. Should I have gone alone?
You should have gone alone with the VAWA receipt.
Right.
And you didn't. So that means your adjustment was denied, which is not the end of the world. You just have to file a new adjustment. Just cost you money.
The VAWA already had a separate I-485 already filed with it.
Well, that's a problem because you can't file two separate adjustment applications.
That's what the issue happened. I tried to call them.
So now your first adjustment's denied, and now your second adjustment is denied.
Right.
So you need to now file a third one because you have no pending adjustment.
Right. I tried to call them to reschedule.
Stop calling and start getting good advice. I just told you what to do. Your first adjustment's denied. You didn't show up. Your second adjustment is not approvable because it was filed when you had a pending adjustment. So therefore, you have no adjustment.
Right.
Call all you want. Whatever advice they give you other than what I just told you is incorrect.
Right. So what should be my next step?
I just finished telling you need to file a third. It's like people don't listen to me. It's like I repeat myself time and time again. Your first adjustment's denied. Your second adjustment's denied. You need to now file a third one. Hopefully with a lawyer who knows what they're doing. Okay?
Right.
Hold on. Saeed in Brooklyn. Saeed.
Yeah, hi, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Thank you so much for helping everybody.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it. And I have a question. I have the case going on. It's appeal.
Appeal of what?
And I'm waiting for my work permit. I never get it, and it's almost 11 and a half months.
Question for you. And what are you appealing?
It's for VAWA. And they denied my...
They denied your VAWA?
Yeah, they denied it. Then
so
appeal.
If your VAWA is denied and your case is on appeal, you're not entitled to a work permit. That's why you never got one. Are you divorced from your wife?
Yes, I am.
When did you divorce?
It was 2016.
Okay, so you have no choice but to appeal because you can't file a new one now, or alternatively find a new way to get a green card. Oh,
okay. Maybe I can contact you later.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Hold on. Yeah. All right, let's go to Stephen in Allen, Texas.
Hi, how you doing,
Hi,
sir?
Stephen. How are you?
Fine. Thank you for all your support. We really appreciate
pleasure.
you, boss.
My
You're
pleasure.
really helping a lot of
Thank you
people.
very much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Quick one, sir. I have an information that I have a driver from another country. They drive trucks. And I don't know, I heard there's a program that works for truck drivers. Is it
I
possible
never
for me
heard of a
to
program that works for truck drivers.
Oh.
I know there is a shortage of truckers. I know it's causing a huge supply chain problem. Unfortunately, immigration laws are arcane, and there is no work visa for trucker.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Another question again
Yes.
is about if you don't mind,
Go ahead.
about the citizenship. Because I heard when you were talking to someone that Biden make it quicker for
Yes, it's about 6 months
citizens.
right now for citizenship. And we were saying at the top of the show during our schmooze that Biden naturalized more people this past year than has been naturalized at any time in the last decade.
Oh, okay. So if you're on a green card, like you got your green card last year, March, you still got to wait for 5 years, right?
Well, how did you get your green card?
The green card was got through work.
Work, yes. So you would have to wait 4 years, 9 months, and 3 days from the time you were granted your permanent residence.
Oh, okay. So you have to wait for 4
You
years.
still have to wait,
before-
yeah. You have about another 4 years to go.
Okay,
All right.
okay. It's only married that you can get it in three years.
Three, right. Or if you join the military, it's 1 year. So
Oh,
if you
okay.
were to join the U.S. military, if you chose to do that, you've had a green card now for 9, 10 months. 2 more months, you'd apply for naturalization.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
All right.
Thank you so much. May God bless you. Have a beautiful
Thank you very
week.
much. I appreciate your kind
Thank you
kind
for your
words.
support.
I appreciate
Thank
your
you,
kind
sir.
words. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. And by the way, if you didn't get a chance to get your immigration questions asked and answered, you could always follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. If you follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein, you could drop me a direct message, and I will try my best to answer your question as best as I can. If you don't like 2 hours of Brad Show Live, you don't like that sometimes we start at 6, sometimes we start at 6:15, sometimes a little later. It's how life works here at Brad Show Live. Regardless, you can follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram. We're there 24 hours a day, and you can watch the best snippets of our show on Instagram at Brad Show Live. And as I said at the top of the hour, our fastest growing social media, TikTok. Follow me on TikTok at Brad Show Live. You can get a personalized video from me answering your immigration questions. And Jonathan Elias.
Yep, you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And later, we are going to visit the Judson Memorial Church in Washington Square, New York City, for a celebration of Jean Montreville's return to the United States on a 90-day parole after being deported to Haiti in January 2018 for a 30-year-old aggravated felony charge. We had Jean's family on Brad Show Live right before his deportation, and this development is very positive in his fight to remain here with his family.
And we went to New York Comic-Con this year and asked attendees what the #1 change they would like to Okay. Okay.
Let's go to social media check-in.
Social media check-in.
We'll go to Comic-Con tomorrow.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
not? We have social media check-in? Yes.
All right, guys. Now, our first one comes from Zach Latif Rahman, a Facebook VIP member, saying, a friend of mine came to the USA on a B2 visa. After he entered, he married a U.S. citizen. He didn't file AOS within 30 days. He did it after 90 days. Will the 30 days rule affect him?
Yes. Yes. If he got married and filed within the first 90 days, he made a misrepresentation.
All right. As if Khan, a Facebook VIP member, if a permanent resident marries an undocumented person who came to the U.S. on a B1, B2 in 2013 and overstayed, what is the process for that person to get a green card? Also, the PR is a substitute sponsor of her F1 and F3 children.
What happened? The sponsor died?
Just says that the permanent resident married an undocumented person who came to the U.S. on a B1, B2 visa.
File an I-130 visa petition. and then you can be in my ventriloquist. Oh, there we go. File an I-130. Remember we used to do that?
Yep.
File an I-130 visa petition, and eventually, if you don't, your spouse doesn't become a U.S. citizen, you would need to do a provisional waiver, go home, and come back. But you'll get a green card one way or the other.
All right, Sugarcane23, YouTube. My interview was in July and I haven't had a decision made. What should I do? My husband was under asylum first before we got married.
Well, if it's July, it's only been about 120 days now. So probably I would wait another 120 days, wait a good 6, 7, 8 months. If you still haven't heard, contact me then.
29 Super C on YouTube. Have the Senate Democrats sent Plan C to the parliamentarian as of yet? Additionally, what is the difference between the immigration reform in the House versus the Plan C in the Senate?
Well, it's the same plan that's in the House that the Senate wants to pass, because they have, in the reconciliation, they have to pass the same exact bill that was passed in the House. And the answer is no, they have not sent it to the parliamentarian yet. We don't know what the parliamentarian is going to say, although we do know that Senator Manchin, who is one of the senators, the Democrats, he's from West Virginia, very conservative. He's one of the senators that the Democrats are relying on to get those 50 votes to pass this. He said that if the parliamentarian says it's okay, he will vote in favor. And if the parliamentarian says it's not okay, he will not vote in favor. That's as of the moment.
Okay, Tanya Smith on YouTube. I would like to know the update for Jamaica in terms of migrant moving to the U.S. F2B category.
The update is the embassy is very slow. They're backed up over a year. I don't know what your priority date is, but people whose priority dates are current, not only in the F2B, the F1, people who are married to U.S. citizens, fiancés, they're backed up 12, 18 months minimum.
God's Grace 9 on YouTube. Hey, Brad. F1 category priority date is July 2016. Can you tell me what year and month they are now in for filing family sponsorship so I can know when to put the documents together for NVC?
Well, first of all, NVC is going to tell you when to do it. Okay, so it's not going to be a surprise to you. You're going to get a notice from NVC to start putting the paperwork together. What category is this gentleman in? Or woman?
F1 category. Priority date is July 2016. Does not have the country.
All right, well, they're up to December 1st. Assuming you're not from China, India, Mexico, or the Philippines, they're up to December 1st, 2014.
All right. Nashika Boyd on YouTube. How long does it take to get an interview date at the embassy when NVC says they're waiting for an interview date?
It's supposed to be within, 8 weeks, but that's pre-COVID. Post-COVID, Magic 8 Ball, will this woman get an interview in the next 12 months, which may or may not happen? Let's see what the Magic 8 Ball says. The Magic 8 Ball says yes, within 12 months.
Okay.
Magic 8 Ball is always right, by the way.
All right, Andrea Wilson on Facebook. I have my interview next month. I've had my medical since March, but did not send it in yet, so USCIS indicated that I should bring the medical to the interview. Now, would that medical from March still be valid, and would I need to do the COVID-19 vaccine according to the new law?
Your medical is not valid because you have to do it within 60 days of your interview or 60 days of filing your adjustment application, so it's not valid, and it also wouldn't be valid because you need the COVID vaccination.
Stacy Ann Martin on Facebook. My daughter is petitioning for me. Can my son, who is 14 years old, be added to the application?
Your daughter is petitioning for you. The answer is no. You cannot include a child. You can only file for your child after you get your green card.
Monique Reynolds on Facebook. Can you explain how to go about reapplying after your visa was stamped without prejudice?
Stamped without prejudice. So
yes.
It was voided without prejudice, which means that you can go apply to the U.S. Embassy for a new visa. You would have to start all over again.
Okay. Sandra Rose Stutter on Facebook. A friend of mine was told when he went to check in for his flight from Jamaica that he needed to contact the embassy. When he contacted the embassy, he was told his visa is revoked because they got anonymous tip about fraud. This is whack. All right. Don't make no sense. Is there anything he can do?
Yeah, fight it out with the embassy that you didn't commit fraud. So let's figure out what is this anonymous tip?
Right.
What did they say the fraud was? And then prove you didn't commit fraud. Other than that, that's whack.
It's whack.
All right, last question.
All right, last question. Niak on Facebook. My priority date is July 5th, 2012. I'm unmarried. I have a child who's a U.S. citizen. I paid all the fees a year ago now, but I'm not sure what's going on. Could you advise me, please?
Wait, so who's filed for who and when?
It does not say who filed for who, but it just says that the priority date was July 5th, 2012, and he is unmarried and has a child who is a U.S. citizen. Paid all the fees last year.
COVID has happened. Our embassies are backed up, as I was talking about, 12, 18, 24 months right now. So that's probably what happened.
All right.
All right, so immigrant activist Jean Montrevil is the co-founder of the New Sanctuary Coalition. Jean was deported to Haiti in January 2018 for a 30-year-old aggravated felony charge. We had Jean's family on Brad's show live as he was being held in ICE detention right before his deportation. We are pleased to report that Jean just returned to the United States in October on a 90-day parole while he continues to fight to remain with his family in New York. We visited Judson Memorial Church in Washington Square, New York City, where a celebration of his return took place, and we spoke with Jean and his family. Let's watch. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Hey, Brad Squad, it's executive producer Jill Gould, aka Jilly Bean. Today, I'm in front of Judson Memorial Church in Washington Square Park, New York City, for a big celebration because immigrant activist Jean Montrevil has returned to the United States after more than 3 years of deportation to Haiti. We had Jean's family on Brad Show Live as he was being held in ICE detention right before his deportation. On Monday, October 18th, 2021, the family was able to once again put their arms around Jean when he arrived at John F. Kennedy International Airport after being granted a 90-day period of special interest parole. The parole permits him to enter the country while he pursues longer-term avenues to remain with his family in New York as conditions in Haiti worsen. The former lawful permanent resident and father of four spent decades advocating for more humane immigration policies after a 1990 Virginia drug conviction led to a deportation order in his case. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam recently pardoned Jean, giving him the opportunity to seek to reopen his case and regain his legal status and apply for naturalization as a U.S. citizen. And that's why his family and community have gathered today at Jean's church to tell the U.S. government to hashtag keep Jean home. Let's go in and talk to everybody.
There is a place for me. There is a place for me. Oh, there is a place for me in the body of Christ. There is a place for me. There is a place for me. There is a place for me in the body of Christ, and I belong here.
Okay, Brad Squad, I'm here with Janae Coffin, Jean Montrevil's ex-wife and mother of his children and good friend and partner in life and advocate. So, Janae, how do you feel having Jean home?
I feel great. I mean, to see my kids' eyes brighten up to have their dad back again is it's a feeling that words can't explain. It's long overdue. He should have never been taken away.
Okay, so you came on our show back in January 2018, right before Jean was deported. In a nutshell, can you explain what happened, how Jean ended up getting deported in the first place?
He ended up getting deported because ICE was surveilling his home where he was staying, and they came when he was on his way to work, and they just snatched him up. He had a pending case in court, and they didn't even take that into consideration. I believe they have inside connections with the courts because I checked, it was Martin Luther King's weekend, and the system was all of a sudden down. Jean was deported on Martin Luther King Day, and they said the judgment was rendered on that Friday when his lawyer was checking every day up until that Friday, and there was no decision rendered by ICE.
And Jean had come to the U.S. at the age of 17?
Yes, he came here at the age of 17, and he was a legal permanent resident. He got in some trouble with the law when he was, I believe, 19. He served his time for that. The laws changed while he was serving the time, and immigration laws run retroactive, so they ordered him deported when he was in federal penitentiary.
However, he got out of penitentiary, and he was never deported, right?
He got out of the penitentiary. He was put on federal parole, and he had received a letter back in '05 stating that they was going to release him for federal parole early because of good behavior. And when he went there, it was an ICE sweep. They picked him up right from the parole officer downtown Brooklyn. They stated that he wasn't supposed to be released back into the States. He was supposed to be sent straight to Haiti.
You built a family and a business that also employed American citizens. Is that correct?
Correct. We built a transportation business that employed everyone from various backgrounds. Jean hasn't been in trouble with the law since that conviction in '89, and ICE kept on holding that over his head. It wasn't until I had filed a pardon when this case first started with the governor of Virginia because it was a drug offense in the state of Virginia. The pardon fell on deaf ears, and then we kept on advocating, and Judson and Families for Freedom and a whole host of people got involved. And Ralph Northam gave Jean a pardon on that case. I believe it was August 13th of this year. And then we had to press for humanitarian parole because even with the pardon, ICE wasn't willing to return him. It was due to the pressure from the people, advocating on Jean's behalf and his good character.
There's representatives, the NYU. You want to say who?
Law Clinic. He had two sets of students. One set of the students graduated last term, and we have new students that just picked it up, and they've been on it, advocating, pushing their legal paperwork. And I'm now the acting executive director of Families for Freedom, which is the organization that I found when Jean first got into this situation. So now I'm able to use my expertise to help other families.
So Jean has also filed a federal lawsuit against immigration officials for deporting him in retaliation against his activism.
Jean was targeted because of his activism, and ICE basically tried to shut him up. The day that they came to detain Jean, they handcuffed him, but they didn't search him. He had his cell phone. He was able to text me in cuff state, and the ICE got him. So when I received that text, I immediately emailed Jean's legal team, and Ravi Rockbear, who was a former executive director of New Sanctuary, which Jean and I co-founded with Ravi, they were coming to get him also. He was able to be saved briefly because he took Sanctuary immediately and he never left the church. But church members saw ICE in an unmarked vehicle waiting outside of Judson, waiting for Ravi to come also. So they violated his First Amendment rights, and we filed a lawsuit against that.
What was it like for Jean in Haiti?
It was rough. I mean, Haiti has no government. It would be times we went weeks to months without speaking because their Wi-Fi is horrible. The president wasn't even safe in Haiti. I mean, recently we saw that gangsters went and shot him up, and I believe they shot his wife also and killed him. I remember visiting Haiti. I was really scared to go outside because they had no street signs, no lights. It was just horrible.
Did you go to visit Jean?
Yes. Jean got deported in January 16th of 2018. I took the kids there. We surprised him for his first Father's Day in Haiti because every Father's Day, Jean was accustomed to spending that day with his children. And it was very rough and scary, worrying about him getting killed. He started a few businesses. He had to shut them down because the gangs had took over.
Tell me how this affected the children.
It really affected the children in a harsh way. And I feel our son Josiah took the deepest blow. Josiah was a freshman at Brooklyn Tech when this case first started. Jean walked into his first day of school. His first semester, all A's. Jean got deported, F's. Josiah was supposed to graduate in June of this year, and he had no drive to go to school. He fell into a deep depression, and I took him to get evaluated, and they said that they diagnosed him with separation anxiety. And now that his dad is back, he's in night school getting his credits up, and he's determined to get his high school diploma now. But he would say things like, why would I get my diploma? My dad is not going to be here to see me graduate. He just didn't understand the double jeopardy that, his dad was dealing with.
Also, Josiah went through some major health issues.
Josiah had a brain tumor removed when he was 11. He suffers from asthma, eczema. He has severe allergies. So on top of the depression, it just made it very worse. So it was very hard on him. Our youngest daughter, Jemiah, she really became very sad. I remember getting a call at work. I had to leave because she bust out crying, and I asked the after-school teacher, like, what happened? And she said they had a daddy-daughter dance coming up, and she just broke down. So I had to deal with that. Our oldest daughter, Janiyah, she was in college in her sophomore year, and Jean was the one that took care of the paperwork to get her in college, and they wouldn't let me step in because Jean started it. So, it was hard. It was a lot. My whole world was stopped. I have my children that I have to be here for. If I broke down, who's going to be there to, keep them up?
What are the next steps here?
The hopes are, and I have faith, that his legal team, my support at Families for Freedom, we're going to keep on pushing. And Gene's going to be here permanently so he can do, his due diligence to get his life and stuff back together.
I'm here with Josiah, Janiyah, and Jemiah, 3 of Jean's children. You guys, how do you feel having your dad home?
I'm feeling, a lot right now. First of all, I'm very excited and happy to have him home. I'm also feeling, highly motivated to, go to college because, that's something I was always on the fritz about, just making him proud and everything. I know he'll be proud of me regardless of what I do, but I just want to, live up to the Montrevil name. I'm just happy to have him here, right around my birthday time too, feels like an early Christmas present. Just excited to be here with him, have a couple questions to ask him, gone through the last 3 years without him, so just some things I miss doing that I'm excited to do now.
You're almost 18 now, right?
My birthday's in a month, and I'll be 18.
How did it affect you when your father left?
Well, for me, I kind of shut down a little bit, like after it had all sunk in. For a period of time, I kind of went on with life, living as everything was normal. But then I had to, it sunk in that, things weren't all right. My father was gone, and I was really distraught about it. Kind of broke down, shut down in school. And I was just like that for a couple months until I eventually was able to bounce back. Wasn't able to make a full recovery because that's something I don't believe anyone can ever completely go back to normal from, but I was able to improve in school, my mental health a lot too.
How do you feel having your dad back?
I feel great. It all happened so fast. Like we were just talking about the possibility of him coming home, and then we got the call that the flight was booked, and it was like, okay, wow, this is really happening. It really affected all of us, especially me and my siblings, because I felt like my siblings were so young at the time, and it was at a pivotal moment in their growth period. So I feel like it distracted them. It distracted me from school. I started failing classes. Like, it was really stressful. And I felt like I had to be there for my brother and sister because they didn't really understand, like, what was going on, especially my little sister. She was so young at the time. And, like, I remember it from, like, when Josiah was first born, like, going to see him through a glass. Like, it was really traumatizing. I don't think any kid should have to go through that. And I think that the system is just made to keep Black and brown families apart. Like, they want people to go through these mental health crises because the system is rigged against us at the end of the day. So I don't think they realize how much it affects people.
Jemiah, you were the youngest when your dad was sent to Haiti. You're how old now?
I'm 14.
Okay, so you were 10 years old at the time. Well, how did you feel when your dad left?
I didn't really understand. I was just so in denial. Even now, I feel like my mind just blocked out those memories. I can't really remember, like, what happened or, like, what time period it really was or, like, what was going on in my life. It was just, everything just blocked out. It felt so unreal.
How is it for you having him home?
It definitely feels, like, weirdly normal. Like, he'll just wake me up, oh, Jemiah, time to go to school. You want some breakfast? Yeah. It just
He
feels
loves
normal.
cooking breakfast for everybody.
Yeah. Definitely, like, the puzzle is finally completed.
So this experience, I understand, has made you concentrate on a career in immigration law. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I felt like watching what happened to my father and watching the stuff I see on the daily, it has really pushed me to get my education and educate people and learn about immigration law so I can help families. Like, my family has been helped so much. So that's my goal, and that's what I'm going to pursue.
All right, so tomorrow we're going to hear from Jean Montrevil himself.
Ooh. So
we'll hear what he has to say about his whole ordeal. But it's a great story, and I'm glad that he's back in the United States. You ready for social media speed round?
Speed round.
You ready to do it?
Woo! First one back.
First one back. Let's see what we're doing. This is when I try to answer 9 immigration questions. 50 seconds. Hopefully, Ian is easy with us. It doesn't blow us up if I screw it up. See if he's nice about it. Or he's going to blow us up anyway.
No, let's see.
No, not a drum roll. You need 50 seconds on the clock. Do we have 50 seconds on our clock?
There we go.
There we go. All right.
Are we ready? Okay.
Oh, he already started.
What's the best alternate to the H-1B lottery?
Wait, no, it hasn't started.
Okay.
Woo. Go, now go.
What's the best alternative to the H-1B lottery?
Any other type of work visa.
Can a green card holder stay out of the U.S. longer due to disability?
No.
Can my citizen friend adopt my 5-year-old son?
Perhaps.
Would the amnesty include essential workers still in legal status?
There's no amnesty.
Do you think parole will pass?
I am praying.
I have an I-130 approved for my sister. Can I get documents here?
Probably not.
Can someone on J-1 overstayed for more than 2 years get legal status?
If you marry a U.S. citizen.
Can I take my 5-year-old kids to my I-485 interview?
Of course.
Can I do humanitarian parole myself, or do I need a lawyer?
We do?
That's 9.
That's 9? What was the question?
Can I do humanitarian parole myself, or do I need a lawyer?
No, a lawyer! Well, we blew up anyway. I thought we did like 12 already.
No.
There's no countdown.
I'm counting for you,
You were
brother.
counting for me?
Yeah.
Damn. I thought we were at like 12 or 13 already.
No.
You want to know why I went to law school?
Wait. Can I do a humanitarian parole myself, or do I need a lawyer?
You're asking a lawyer if you need a lawyer.
But can they do it?
You can. Rambo did surgery on himself.
There
I
you
wouldn't
go.
recommend
So
it.
you said yes at first.
Yeah.
You just won't recommend it.
I blew myself up. I thought we were at like
Lord.
12. That's why I went to law school, because I'm terrible at math. All right, comments of the day.
Oh. All right.
First comment.
First comment of the day.
Drum roll, please.
There we go. All right. I believe it is Anthony Bello. It is. Okay. I have not seen another smart, intelligent lawyer like Brad.
Thank you. Until you actually saw myself blow up, because I thought I did 12 questions and we were only at 8.
You got to trust your co-host, brother.
Damn. That's a damn.
That's a damn. Yeah. All right. Second one comes from Joan Ambitious Powell saying, "Squad up. Happy to have you guys back. Missed you all."
Oh, we missed everybody
yes,
too.
We
Thank
did.
you.
Yeah. All right. And we have a third one. Rosemarie Barnes saying, "Hooray, Brad show is back. I kept searching and searching, nothing on YouTube to make me laugh as much."
Well, I'm glad we're back.
She was searching.
She was searching for all sorts of comedy.
And there was nothing.
There was no comedy like Brad Show Live. There you have it.
Nothing. All right. And our last comment of the day comes from Aram Min saying, "Thanks again, Brad. Your team is awesome. Great job assisting me in getting my permanent residence."
Thank you.
Nice.
All right. Well, it was our first day back. Some kinks. But overall,
it was pretty good.
Thumbs up.
Pretty awesome.
All right. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here.
Forget it, I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?